Howdy folks, John Adamson with Seeking Light. Hope you're doing well today on this Sunday. We're nearing March, and what's weird is that even in Virginia, which is kind of moderate temperatures, we're used to having more winter, and we're already seeing massive budding of our trees. What's in the news personally? Well, I'm going to be in a play production. I'm going to be playing the part of Matthew Cuthbert in Anne of Green Gables in a local theater group. That should be interesting. I'm doing that with 3 of my daughters who have parts in the play. Never done that before. Looking forward to it. Never had thespian experience before, but I can certainly, act the part of a ham. With that said, want to get into news, 2 news items. One is a study that just came out. You can find this if you go to Google Scholar and just type in natural immunity 2023. One of the first studies that pops up is one, I forget the name of the article, and if I try to pull it up right now, it'll go away, but it'll be one of the first options you'll see. And anyway, it's a survey of literature that's been published that reviews how does natural immunity compare to the shot, the fairy dust that we were provided. And if you read just the abstract, you'll see the authors attempt to make a significant claim that, or at least they're trying to point you in the direction of believing that the fairy dust is more effective. But if you actually look through the article, one of the things that becomes clear is, one, if you had early on the disease that shall not be named on YouTube, you have excellent and long-standing protection against that disease which shall not be named. And then if you got the Omicron variant of the disease, you don't have protection against earlier variants. And also, if you got Omicron, even if you had the previous infections, it was easier for your body to get Omicron. You didn't have as good a protection against Omicron. But then if you read deep into the article, you find out that the best quality of studies has demonstrated as good a clinical effectiveness for natural immunity as compared to shot immunity as compared to shot plus getting infected immunity. In other words, if you've had it in the past, you don't need to have more fairy dust injected in you. That's what the study says. I'm not the expert here. The study is showing that with just raw data. So anyway, that's good news for us who said, we don't want it. Well, initially it seemed like the magic fairy dust was helping some people avoid hospitalization and severe disease. And there may have been some cases like that. Long term, we're not seeing that. And then we also know that taking the fairy dust is associated with some potentially dangerous side effects, including some severely disabling disorders. So the bottom line, if you read that article, if you actually go through it, you probably will see that at this point, magic fairy dust is not very useful. Now let's talk about a dust blanketing the land. If you live in the Ohio area surrounding or near Pittsburgh and some places in West Virginia and Maryland, people have been reporting a strange blanketing of some kind of dust that they're seeing that's come down and been depositing itself in their area. And they're concerned about it because it's not usual. It's unique. It's never happened before. And they're being told not to worry. They're being told they don't have to move. They're being told that their water is safe, that there's no long-term effects, etc. And this just goes back to the previous topic I mentioned, and what I'm just bringing up, this dust and being told not to worry about it, is just ongoing proof that we receive a boatload of lies. We receive all sorts of misinformation and disinformation from the government. And if you have believed that, everything the government says is wonderful and hunky-dory, that they have our best interests at heart when it comes to magic fairy dust and then literal dust that's being deposited on land, that everything's hunky-dory and good, then you're part of the problem. We cannot ultimately trust people that hold large swaths of power. I wasn't going to mention this, but if you've been paying attention to the World Economic Forum, which I have advised that you at least see what they're talking about, and they have a YouTube channel, the World Economic Forum. Even if you just subscribe to it and you hit the bell notification and you see the videos they're putting out, just the titles alone will tell you what the uber powerful elite of our world are focusing on. You will see that they have to control the information narrative, and they are telling us a boatload of lies, because they're the same people. Some of these are the same people that have told us that everything is fine with the magic fairy dust. They're the same people that would downplay the environmental impact of a massive spill of toxic chemicals from a train derailment. They're the same people that tell us that we should all be able to have battery-powered cars by the year 2035. Pay attention to what those people are saying. And if they've lied to us about two very significant world-impacting situations, and I guess the toxic chemical spill is not world-impacting, but it is impacting millions of people. If they've lied about that to us, then they've probably lied about a lot of other things. So anyway, I'm feeling kind of conspiratorial, like a conspiracy theorist this morning. Excuse me. Anyway, I hope you're doing well on this Sunday. I just dropped off my daughter at work. Whenever she works 2 nursing shifts back to back, I give her a ride on the second day, generally, if it's possible, so she can rest a little bit longer, because she's putting 13, 14 hours in. On other news, I've just completed the revision. For those of you that are therapists, my documentation essentials course for allied health education, I just revised that and submitted that. That'll be presented this year through Allied Health Education, and I'm doing a special presentation. And then I'm putting together an ethics course for the state of Georgia, and we'll be putting this similar material together for a couple other states that require that for physical therapists. And then I've got a couple other works in process, not to mention some ideas I'm working on. So I've kind of kicked creativity into overdrive. Pray that I don't burn myself out, because I am burning the candle on both ends, so to speak, a little bit. I am trying to make sure I get adequate sleep, but I'm really kicking it into overdrive, because right now, given the economy, I'm trying to develop all those other streams of income. I wish I had utilized my brain power better when I was younger. and when I had more energy than I am now. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Hope you're doing well. Take care, and God bless.